Hey guys, it's Christine, also known as IvyWinter. Thank you for joining me for another Disney video. Today is going to be the first of 4 videos. I was thinking about going to each of the parks and in general the things that you should and shouldn't do per park, especially for people who have never been to Disney World or who haven't been in a really long time. Knowing what to do, when to do it, what's the best way to kind of handle each park can be a little bit confusing. So I want to jump into some do's and don'ts for each park, and today we're going to start with Magic Kingdom. Do get a handle of the map before you go and decide which direction you're going to start in. The huge decision that you need to make first is, am I going left or right? And everyone has a different way that they tend to tour Magic Kingdom. Some people go straight across, but it's good to take a look at the map, get acclimated to the different lands if you don't know them, and pick a direction. Do you want to start in Tomorrowland and maybe try to hit Space Mountain first? Do you want to start in Adventureland, do Jungle Cruise and Pirates? Or maybe you want to cut straight across to Fantasyland and go to Seven Dwarfs because that is one of the most popular rides in the park. So if it's something you want to ride, you might want to go there first. Get used to the way that Magic Kingdom is laid out, how each land kind of works into another, all the different side paths that take you across the park, and have a general idea of where you want to start. Don't plan your rides so that you're constantly running back and forth across the park. Obviously, if there is a ride that is the thing that you want to do first, you might find yourself going across the park, like I said, going from Main Street across to Fantasyland for Seven Dwarfs, or maybe across to Frontierland for Splash or something like that. But try not to plan your day where you're just hopping across the park constantly. I'm going to Splash Mountain, and now I'm going to Space Mountain, but now I'm going to Pirates. You are going to wear yourself out. The park is big, and it's really good to minimize as much walking as possible and try to make your tours around each land as efficient as possible, or you really are going to tire yourself out far earlier than you planned. Do get there early, preferably rope drop, if you want to do things like ride the old vehicles down Main Street, because they stopped doing that around 10:30 in the morning. Or if you want to catch the trolley show, because there's only a couple early in the morning, and trust me, it's awesome and worth catching. Or if you want that perfect castle photo, the quietest time is going to be the best shot down Main Street towards the castle. You're not going to be dealing with too many people in the way of your photo. So going early is a really great way to take advantage and also do some things that you're not going to really have the opportunity to do later in the day. Don't skip taking a break. As I said before, Magic Kingdom is big, and especially if you're going to plan to spend all day there, whether you just don't have a park hopper ticket or you really want to get a lot done within one day, don't skip the break. It's so important. Even if it's a break in the park, just going to a restaurant, maybe it's a break hopping to one of the nearby resorts, or maybe it's really going all the way back to the hotel and coming back. I really suggest that you build in at least a couple of hours to just chill somewhere. You're gonna need it. Do try to ride most of the classics. I mean, Magic Kingdom is the first park that ever opened in Disney World. A lot of the rides are copies from Disneyland. These are super classic rides that the old school Imagineers have created, and it's totally worth taking the time. So the Three Mountains, Jungle Cruise, Pirates, Haunted Mansion, all worth riding. I know some people are a little back and forth in Carousel of Progress. I love it. Not everyone loves it. But that is a classic as well, right? World's Fair. Make sure you take the time to really check out the classic rides, for sure. Don't try to do everything. It's not likely gonna happen unless you are lucking out and going during a fairly quiet day. It's possible. I've done a lot of stuff as a solo trip goer. It's a little bit harder when you have a bigger group, but in general, don't get it in your head that you need to do every single ride, every single show, see every single thing in the park in one day, especially if you have other days in your trip that you can come back to Magic Kingdom. But I think just be reasonable about how much you can do in a day. Do get fast passes for the most popular rides. Seven Dwarfs is the hardest to get a fast pass for, so try that first. Otherwise, the mountains, especially Splash, tends to get a longer line towards the middle of the day if you're going in a hot season, because the middle of the day is hot. So you might want to get your fast pass around like 1, 2 o'clock, peak heat time of the day, and you can cool off on Splash. Space Mountain's also great. Jungle Cruise surprisingly gets a very long line, so that might be something you want to get a fast pass for as well. Don't waste fast passes on things like PhilharMagic or Winnie the Pooh. These sorts of attractions and rides tend to have a shorter wait, if not all throughout the day. It fluctuates enough that I promise you there'll be a time of the day that Winnie the Pooh drops to 20-25 minutes. PhilharMagic's almost never more than 10 minutes except for busy season, and even then I've never waited more than 20 minutes because they're constantly letting in new people in this big theater. Do I think that these rides are worth going on? Absolutely. I just don't think that they're worth a fast pass for. Do eat a Dole Whip. That's pretty much it. Don't forget to slow down. And you can do this not just by taking a break like I said earlier, but go to the attractions that are a little slower and more, relaxing. Take a ride on the Liberty Bell. I love doing that. It's so nice. Go to Tom Sawyer's Island. I mean, maybe if you're a kid, it's not relaxing. Those kids run around that place like crazy. But you can get into those rocking chairs and sit there and relax. You can just find little cozy parts of the island and take your time. There are so many different things you can do to like chill out. TTA is a great one. I've done that a couple times in a row just to have a nice relaxing ride through. I also love the TTA. Obviously, we have a whole podcast named after it, but I think that's a great attraction for slowing down. It's a small world as well. So take in the rides that are a little bit slower. Let it just kind of give you a slower break during the middle of the day. Do watch Happily Ever After. It's fantastic. It's such a good fireworks show. It is worth you waiting around for and checking out, and I just think it is a phenomenal show. It covers so many different Disney movies that I think everyone will be satisfied in some sort of way, and it's just really beautiful, so definitely check it out. But don't feel like you need to watch it from the hub. I've done this before, but it's tough. You definitely have to get there an hour plus before, and you start to get really crushed because people start sitting down, but they're not allowed to stay sitting for the fireworks, so eventually cast members will have everyone stand, and they'll start having you fill in space, and you're gonna feel like there's a lot of people around you, and it's a little bit intimidating. Do you get a great view of the projections and stuff in the hub? Yes, but it's not always the best spot. I think going a little bit further back to Main Street's good. Some people really actually like standing by the Purple Wall in Tomorrowland. Some people like standing off to the side by the path going to Adventureland. You don't have to be dead on for the castle to see the projections and enjoy the fireworks. I think that you want to be close, but you don't really need to be right up there. So don't feel like you need to do that hour before wait. I would say get there at least 30 minutes before, but don't feel like that's the only spot that's a good spot, and if you don't get right in front of the hub, you're not gonna have a good time because the fireworks are made to be really enjoyed from a lot of different angles. I would love to know in the comments below, what are your do's and don'ts in Magic Kingdom? Things that you absolutely think people should do and things that people should never do at Magic Kingdom. Let me know in the comments below. It's super helpful for other people who come here planning their trip. If you like this video, then like it. If you like me, you should subscribe. I make videos every single week. My background's gonna be changing soon. I don't know what it's gonna look like yet, but we are moving in less than 2 weeks and gonna be in a new office, new studio space, so it's really exciting. Have plans to kind of take you guys along with me on moving day. Yeah, so this might be one of a few videos left in this exact space. Kind of crazy. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great rest of the day. Bye.